All right, this is going to be take two. Sorry about that. I know there's some people that tried to join the last one and it kind of crapped out on us. So I'll just wait for a few people to join over here. Let me see if I can help speed that process along at all. Let's see. My events. And let's see. Hey, Jordan.
Howdy, do you hear me?
I hear you.
And you see me?
I see you.
We are improving.
Yeah. The last one crapped out. I had to create a new one. I just shared the link over on our old event. So, situation normal for all us geeks. 3 years later, we still don't know what the hell we're doing.
We got knocked the fuck out!
Oh.
Ooh, did that come through nice and loud?
All right. So, sensors off this evening.
I saw the possible attendee list. If Mike's going to be here, I know shit's going to be real.
How you doing tonight, brother?
You know, I've been in a really good mood since Friday.
Oh, hell. No wonder our last one broke.
Other than a cavity, I had day off. I'm working one day this week, and my boss wouldn't even let me roll my flex time from last week to tomorrow, so I have to work one day this week. But I'm in a good mood. Go.
No, you go ahead, brother.
I was going to say I got everything for Adepticon done. Everything is packed. I just have to print my Warhammer lists and get those in a book, and then I'm done. All my painting is done. The last thing I painted looks kind of shit, but it's tabletop ready at least. I was actually able to clean up my office a little bit as part of getting ready for Adepticon, because then I had to find all these books that I've got the rules mostly memorized, but you still have to bring the books just in case there's rules lawyering going on. I'm looking forward to it.
I see we've got a few people that made it over to the new. There is a group chat if anybody wants to participate. I see we're up to a total of 4 viewers. Look out! Look out! Oh, 5! Oh, you guys missed Jordan swearing earlier.
I'll do it again.
I have no doubt. Hey, you want me to make you feel even better right now?
Whoa, we got viewers now.
Well, that's why I want to do it.
Well, all right, but
ready?
Yeah. Awesome!
Yeah, you wish you were over here now, don't you?
Damn you, Adepticon, for being the same week as we getting that.
All right. Thanks for everybody that's kind of hanging out with us. Again, there's the group chat. So far, I don't see anything coming through there. So par for the course for us. More than likely, it's broken, right? It's probably like 10 people talking to us right now, and we don't know it. But yeah, if you can, go ahead and use the chat. And if you have any questions or anything, let us know. Again, this is our 3-year anniversary. Holy crap, dude. It's been 3 very quick years. I'm going to say I'm very surprised. It's been extremely fast 3 years. It doesn't feel like 3 years to me.
It's gone by fast. I'll say that.
Let's see. I'm gonna check on our previous event there. I know there are a lot of people chatting over there. Looks like that's died down. So let's see. That is going. All right. I think we're about as live as we can be. Just still waiting for people to interact with us, which is part of what this is about, people. Come on.
I'm crapping out here. Give me a second, and I'm going to come back.
All right. So yes, Jordan's going to pop out and come back in. And again, this is our 3-year anniversary. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for supporting us for going on 3 years now. And everything that you guys are doing has been amazing. We really appreciate the listeners and the community that we've built for the last 3 years. And again, there's the chat there. So if you want to have a conversation with us or you have any questions, let us know. At some point during this deal, we will be doing the showing off of the games that have been unlocked so far during the pledge drive, which has been awesome. So we've got 3 games that are in the prize pool package for April. And of course, we can continue to unlock others as we go along if you guys are interested in that. Oh, I'm getting a message on my tablet that people are chatting with us, but we can't see it. Of course. That sounds about right. All right, so let me try to figure that out then. Jordan, are you back? I saw your icon.
I'm back, but I got no video. Do you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. I see you.
Well, I don't see anybody.
You don't see me at all.
I got the tiny U.
Well, it's just you and me. I mean,
well, yeah, but all I've got is the banner on the page.
All right, let's. So I still cannot see where. Oh, hey, let's get rid of that. I still cannot see where they're apparently talking to us.
I don't see anybody or anything in the group chat.
So that's awesome. So this is a lot of why, according to Nikki, there's 37 people in the room. That's interesting because by this it says that we've got 5 people. And I'm wondering and apparently they're listening to us. So you guys did come over to the other event, Nikki? The second link I posted since we had to restart this. I've got Nikki on Facebook Messenger, connecting with me, telling me what's going on that you and I can't see.
Awesome. Which is everything, apparently.
Apparently, there's an entire party going on that you and I are unaware of, which is par for the course, I think. Everybody should enjoy All Us Geeks without us knowing about it. I think that's pretty much been our 3-year theme. Yep, she just sent me a screenshot. Apparently, Mike is pretty happy that I showed off the Smash Up expansion.
As he should be.
Yeah. So there is a hidden chat from us somewhere, apparently. So I'm going to go try to find that.
Currently, Google is working with IBM.
Hey, you're not supposed to say it out loud. All right, so um, apparently the group chat that we've been given and the chat that they're using are not the same. So I do see some of the comments now on the actual event, but that's not the same as like the chat that comes with a Hangout. So that's interesting. Um, hmm. So they're all having a good time. I'm still trying to figure out where she's seeing 37 people though.
Man, maybe we should have tested this one time.
Well, apparently, this is just supposed to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is why we've never done one of these before. And there's a good chance this may not become a thing.
We'll just remove that Patreon pledge option.
Well, I think a regular Google Hangout is fine. This Google Hangout on Air thing is. Mike is on YouTube watching, and I'm on Google Plus to see the group chat. Now, see, that's where I've usually seen some of the group chat. See, they've given our video shows a group chat that has basically just, I think, Jordan and I at this point. So I know when I've watched a few of these, yeah, I've usually watched it over on the YouTube channel. Right now, though, if I try to start that up, I might have to do that like on my tablet or something because it's going to feed back into my headphones and give me really horrible echo. But let me see if I can do that. Let's see, live event. I gotta go to the control room. View on watch page. Let's try that. And then I think maybe if I do that. But let me see if I can do that. Nope. I don't want to do that. So I'm there, but it's still not showing me the chat. This is awesome. But I see 7 people watching still.
Oh, this is awesome.
All right. So I do see some comments. That's not the same as I see some comments on our YouTube page. I don't know if that's supposed to be the chat. Because usually there's an actual chat page. So this is just kind of almost working like a comment system and not necessarily a chat system, which sucks. So it's not. Apparently, though, Nikki, from what I understand, like you're saying, Mike's doing it on YouTube, and you're watching from Google Plus, and you guys are seeing each other's comments properly. Oh, the blue link. You take the red pill. All right. Well, I can see the comments off of the event, and I've got that up. Word is spreading, and people want to laugh at you. That's nothing new. That's pretty much a typical day, Mike. All right. So apparently there's a chat we can't see, but I can see Mike says he's commenting on YouTube, and I see that under the event. So if I keep the event up, I can kind of see it.
All right, I'm trying to get into the event here then.
Yeah, just straight off the Google Plus and that kind of stuff. All right, so I see Matthew, Mike, and Anthony, and of course, I know Nikki is watching as well because I'm interacting with her mostly through Facebook Messenger. Ken, hi, how you doing, Ken? So again, Aaron, hey, how's it going, Aaron?
Oh, Google's brilliant. It's just told me that something's not right.
Did it?
Yeah.
That would be us attempting to do pretty much anything.
Oh, I'll give you something to do, Nikki. Don't tempt me. I have a long list of shitty things I need to get done before Wednesday at noon.
So I need to kind of, I don't know where I'm going to put this window, but let's see if I can do. That's not what I wanted to do. All right, never mind. Come back to that. Well, apparently you're wrong, Matthew, because Mike has said that he's commenting from YouTube. My gigantic water bottle. This is always, whenever we record, this is with me.
I have a more reasonably sized water bottle because I'm not overcompensating.
Nice. Yeah, well, mine's purple. And you're jealous. And again, here you go, Mike. I'll show you since you're putting up with us doing this crap. There you
Nope.
go.
You should have been there the first time.
Well, he was there the first time. We just missed his response to it the first time.
Hey, this is nothing to do with us, Mike. This is all Google bullshit.
Yeah, this is not us. This is definitely not the way I would have figured this went. Anytime I've ever
seen cans in a Super 8, and I got a better hangout than they're providing.
Yeah, usually any of them that I've kind of watched, there's the chat on the YouTube channel, but I'm not seeing that at all. Apparently, that's where Mike is. And yeah, you would think with this being a public event and opening it up to the public, a group chat would be a group chat. Show and tell what's in your podcast space. I could probably do a little bit of that. I actually do use a webcam that's kind of not attached to my laptop directly. So let me switch back to my camera and I'll kind of show off a little bit, I guess. Not show off. Let's see. So directly here, let me things are going to get shaky, people. And I can't get, one thing is I can't get too far away from the mic though. We're pretty hooked up. You see kind of behind me there, that's our mixer and our noise gate limiter. So it kind of helps keep like my mic and Jordan's mic out of each other's space, when we're talking, or some of the breathing and stuff. It doesn't kick in. The noise limiter helps it to not kick in. And then directly behind me, you'll see that's our recording laptop directly behind me. And then that deal there is full of like extra parts and stuff like that. And it also has all of my really small box games like card games and stuff like that. So there's a bunch of stuff in there. And then if I pan around this way, trying to keep my eye on the camera. All right, that orange thing down there with all the games stacked up on top of it, that's our review tub. And it's full, so games are starting to go up on top of it. So those are all things we've got to review here sometime in the future. Just got a couple more in today that are actually around the corner, which I'm not going to be able to show you. And then if we kind of pan over from there, this is kind of what we see looking out from the recording area, but this is the shelves that are now full of all the games. So as we go around here, she kind of takes the corner there. I'm kind of getting into one of the lights, so it's going to get goofy. And then about right there, if I can go off to the side, that's where the games stop. And then there's a little divide right there, and then the movies start on the other side and kind of goes around that corner. And then so right around that corner there is the backdrop you see in some of the reviews that I do for the video side, because that's where our gaming table is. And now there we go, camera went all crooked. So yeah, there you go. Now let me get back to chat here and it's like YouTube videos. What's in your purse? Like I don't think I've ever watched.
There's nothing as scary as those. There's nothing as scary as those.
Yeah, it's pretty tame down here, but yeah,
I've never seen a vibrator accidentally fall out of Jeff's desk, so no, it's nothing as scary as what's in your purse.
No, we keep a tight ship down here. You probably won't see that. Nikki's talking about
probably.
You never know. There's a game day coming up here soon at the house.
I'm out.
Nikki's talking about using Mixler next time. There's no video, but people can at least chat and stuff. And I've thought about that, Nikki. I know a couple people that use Mixler, and like you said, we were really trying to do this so we could hopefully do some video and type stuff. But you're right, as far as getting people to at least chat and stuff like that, that would be maybe an option for us to try next time. Oh, Anthony's taken off on us, or did. Probably might have missed that while I was doing the tour. Thanks, Anthony. Thanks for hanging out with us for a little while anyway, and have fun at your game night. That is one thing we will never say you shouldn't attend, so definitely go hang out and play games.
Behind me, you mean, Nikki? I got all sorts of crap behind me. Warhammer, Flames of War, Star Trek Attack Wing, some Dark Age back here. I don't know if you can see it. Dark Age, X-Wing, and then a crap ton of bases and partial walls and crap for a display board if I ever get off my ass and actually make a display board. So never. But they were cheap.
These guys keep wanting us to watch a video.
I saw the video, the happy birthday video, unless there's another one, and that was very cool, folks. Thank you very much.
I think I tried to watch it a little bit earlier, but let me go again. I'm just hoping I'm not going to get any. Well, you guys won't hear it if I get any feedback on it.
Oh, there's a new. Oh, Mike just okay. A new video. Well, is it the same one, the trio video, Mike, Nikki? Okay, yeah, I watched that. The dress that will not die.
So is it the same one then? Or is there two different ones?
I assume that was yes to my question of is it the same one?
Oh, well, I'm on the video page, so I'm not seeing the chat right now.
Oh, she said yes.
Thanks, guys. um, yeah, we all deserve each other, I think.
Oh, that's just over my shoulder. Let me turn the mic a little, the camera here a little bit, Nikki. I don't know if you can see that. That's my big collection of Fantasy Flight LCGs that I never actually play. Some Dice Masters, some Dust, other minis and board and card games and rule books for them. Yeah. This is my workspace. I've got my 2 work laptops. I've got my hobby space over there, my paints and my crap. And if you can see the floor, oh God, please don't look at the floor. It's just far too small a space for what I have in here and what I try to work with on a regular basis.
Yeah, hopefully it's because Jordan, you're working on your basement, so hopefully you'll be able to spread out some hobby stuff later, right?
Yeah, I will hopefully be doing electrical when I get back from Gen Con, Adepticon, and then insulation and drywall, and that'll get me a place to work down there and spread out a little bit more sanely.
Yeah, and Nikki, this is probably the first time. Well, I guess Jordan, I don't know if you've participated in anything else. This is the first time you've actually like podcasted from your house. So the podcast space is pretty much here. Jordan sits right across from me on that side, and we record it at the Geek compound here. And he hasn't been remote yet.
Well, after this technological display.
Oh. Jordan's basement looks pretty awesome. Well, have we? Well, are you talking about from Facebook and the work he's been doing on it so far? Because right now his basement is still pretty plain. I think it's actually starting to look like a basement again at this point, right, Jordan?
Yeah, I got all the framing done last week. That was a bad idea, trying to do framing with my back put out still. But it's done. So next week, I hope next week, start drilling studs and running new electrical.
Yeah, in fact, I don't think my only interaction with his basement has been through the pictures that you guys have probably seen on Facebook.
Only one person, not family, has seen my basement because it is just a shambles right now. And that's only because he wanted a bunch of the... I got to turn off notifications over there. And that's only because he wanted a bunch of the tile I had scraped up to use for one of his display boards.
All right.
Oh, dude, put a shirt on.
What now?
Nikki just DM'd me with Mike in his podcast corner a picture.
Oh, he was saying, yeah, that's what he meant. Your basement now looks better because they don't have a basement.
Gotcha.
And that your headset sounds better than he does with his mic.
Well, it's because I spent like $25.
You know, Mike has a good mic.
No, I'm not gonna. This wasn't that expensive, but it's Logitech, and I find that Logitech is good value for their price point when it's just a PC peripheral. And since I'm just running everything directly into my laptop, that's all I need.
All right, should we show off the first game that's already been unlocked?
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. All right. So, well, actually, this one wasn't unlocked. This was the game that kicked it all off, the one that was donated to us to give away during the pledge drive. So what we have is
out of focus.
Damn straight. Hey, stop taking the camera away from me. Space Mission from Matt Warden. So you may have heard me talk to Matt Warden before, but Matt Warden is a friend of mine and a friend of the podcast, and he gave this to us to give away during the pledge drive. And one of the things that's kind of cool about this game is, other than it's a great game, we've all played it. I have a copy of it myself, but this was the overseas Europe version of his game Jumpgate. So he has the American version is called Jumpgate. He's trying to kind of get that to a point where it's somewhat like Space Mission. I mean, he liked what they did with Space Mission. So when they signed it, they renamed it. They made some changes to it, and they brought in an artist, and he really liked what they did. This is currently out of print. They are no longer printing it. This is actually one of the last few copies that Matt had left, and he hand delivered it and said, "Here, give this away during the pledge drive." So Space Mission is what kicked off the prize package that's going to be happening in April. And of course, now we've also got 2 other games unlocked so far.
Tell me more.
Nope. So I'm back looking at the. So when is Jeff going to start running an All Us Geeks Shadowrun game online?
Hey, I think if we get Roll20 and get a group of people together, and you can find, just one more evening, maybe find an 8th evening in the week or something.
Yeah. I've almost been tempted to potentially do something like make it a Patreon level and make it a limited level. I think because just the amount of time. First of all, Shadowrun is one of those games that takes a ridiculous amount of time, not only to create your character, but I think just in general. I love the game, absolutely do. And I ran it for us when 5th edition was first coming out, and that was fun. It was interesting. A little bit of a train wreck at times because it was very brand new. We had the PDFs only because it actually wasn't out yet, but they asked us to review it and take a look at it. So we did. We had a lot of fun with it, but man, is that a time-consuming game to run and create characters for.
Well, especially when your face isn't being a face and your mage has to be a face, and then she gets pissy about it.
Would I love
I think
to run
somebody just got on Mike's keyboard there for a second.
Why? What?
Mike has a good mic. That was an awesome gift from the better half of the AUG family.
Nice. Yeah, I gifted a mic to other Mike. That's right. I'm bringing it back.
Bringing it back. It never left.
Not around here. It hasn't.
I've never referred to you as anything else than other Mike.
But yeah, that was one of those things. We had some extra mics, and it's a good mic. The I think it was the ATR 2100. It's a good starting podcast mic for sure, and it has a lot of flexibility. We have a couple of them that we use around here too, just not very often. I think they're mostly now used as our portable mics. So whenever you hear us recording an event or something, that's the mic I think we're using now.
Well, they're pretty good, even for portable. I mean, Gen Con, those sounded pretty reasonable given the sound levels that we were dealing with.
No, yeah, they're awesome mics, and that's why I like them, because they're the problem is everybody and their brother found out they were awesome mics. So you used to be able to get them like sub $30. Now you're lucky if you get them for like 60.
Seriously? Blow me.
Well, I wasn't planning to, but it is our anniversary.
I warned everybody except the telemarketers that I was going to be busy this evening. So it's the telemarketers that call. Don't you be sighing, other Mike.
So are we pretty much down to Mike and Nikki hanging out with us?
Could very well be. Could very well be.
I
it says there's
them.
8 people. It says Anthony is still here, but
I'm sure he left us for the game day, and I don't fault him at all. So you're coming over tomorrow.
Yeah.
Join me for a daily. You want to blow that off, and we can get some.
We could make the daily just playing Smash Up.
There you go. Get my zombie ponies in.
There you go.
You sent the same one day. Well, yeah, Farmer Joe. That again, it's a solid mic to use. And the nice thing too is it's flexible. So when you're first using it, if you're first starting out and you're just going straight to a computer, it's the USB. But then if you want to get a mixer, it's XLR too, and it's nice because it's for the price too. It comes with both cables. It's a good mic, solid mic. Hey, Aaron. Aaron's still here. Thanks for letting us know you're still here. Again,
laughing or crying.
Apparently, Nikki is still chatting, but we're not seeing it. Is that what Mike's trying to say? Look, we can only control so much.
My plans for world domination do not involve fixing Google tech problems.
Yeah. In fact, when we take over, there may be no more. I don't want to know that, Mike. And again, if
you've
anybody
got a better solution, Mike, feel free as a member of UGN to, step up.
And again, if anybody has any questions or anything for us, go ahead and share them. It looks like in the event chat or comment section there is where we're all hanging out and having a conversation.
Mike, I don't want to think about your hard nipples, so stop saying that.
See, I didn't even try to say it. So, but no, you had to bring it to the forefront.
Well, they're pretty standing out in the room, obviously. So.
All right. Let me go back to you're in charge of watching chat for a second.
Oh, never say Jordan is in charge of anything.
You've got one job.
Shit's gonna break now.
All right, so again, first game is Space Mission.
Oh yeah, let's go back to that.
Love us some Space Mission. So second game, so this is one of the first ones that was unlocked. Again, friends of the podcast I've gone with here. So we're going to do Dig Down Dwarf from Grey Gnome Games. Got a copy of that. We're going to add into the prize package to go along with Space Mission. So this is one that I was really excited to see come to Kickstarter. It's a really solid game. It's one of the ones that was in the contest that Cyrus and I judged. And so this is the updated version that went to Kickstarter and came out of Kickstarter.
Picks or it didn't happen, Nikki.
Apparently, I was incorrect in leaving.
Hey, I had nothing to do with it. It's the Mike Nicky machine that's just going crazy. Well, yeah, we'd love to have other podcasters join UGN in general. We don't have like ongoing recruitment or anything, but if people approach us or if we find somebody that we think fits our kind of twisted worldview, yeah, we've got no problem approaching somebody.
All right. We don't have a twisted worldview. I mean, that's all us geeks maybe, but United Geeks Network doesn't have a twisted worldview.
Give it a chance.
Yeah, and as far as like other podcasts, are there other podcasts you want to do? There's a ton of stuff I would love to do, but let's look at time. I have said I've had a couple people approach me and ask me if I would co-host with them, which I wouldn't be against if I could work it out in the schedule because I can still record some, but unfortunately, as soon as I ask, do you mean produce and edit? And they're like, well, yeah. And I'm like, well, no, I'm out then because I do not have more time to edit and produce podcasts. And I think I said this the other night. The only one that I will do if it comes back up is Megan wants to start a podcast, and we've been talking about that forever. We almost got it rolling and then kind of got derailed. But if that's something she still wants to do, I would definitely make sure that comes into the family. But as far as anything else, yeah, I mean, like Jordan said, we don't actively recruit. I don't go out and say, hey, we've got this network. Every once in a while we share it out through social media, the page for people to let us know if they want to join. But we're open to it, definitely. One of the things I'd love to do is get more video content creators, I think, because right now it's pretty much Matthew is our only video content creator. And then
thanks.
No, under the banner. If you look at
no, that's fine. Okay.
Well,
no.
Seriously, you're gonna try to put yourself. Did we have this conversation about how your resolution was to do videos and it never came through? Yeah.
And I have done 2 videos this year.
But that is Matthew's medium, so I'd love to get some more people down in that section with him, because right now United Geeks Network is primarily podcasts. Really, if you look at everybody that's involved, it's mostly podcasts, and then we've got a couple bloggers and one video content creator. Thank you for confirming, Matthew. Yes. I don't know if you had the chance to be invisible for one day, what would you do? That's from Mike.
Go to your house and make you put on a shirt. Alternately, crime spree. Come on, I'm honest.
I don't know what I would do, to be honest with you. I think I'm already kind of invisible. To be perfect, anytime Megan and I can hang out at home and just veg and not open the door, we're good. So,
earlier this year, going back to his other question, I put out a general notice that I wouldn't mind guesting every now and then on some people's other podcasts, just for a change. And coming to the midpoint of the last month of the third quarter, I have not been on any other shows yet. So apparently I too am generally invisible.
But to Jordan's credit too, he is kind of reaching out a bit more. He's actually approaching me with people that he wants on the show, or that he wants to try to see if we can get on the show for interviews. So that's been kind of cool, because we don't have anything that we can really say because Jordan's still kind of looking into it. But the other day he approached me and was like, hey, would you be willing to have this person on? Can I kind of go see if I can make that happen? And hell, more power to you, because it's one less thing that I'm tracking down. Let's see. Who is a game developer that you haven't had on the show yet that you would like to have on the show? Man, I don't know. I've had some really good people on, and we've talked to a few people somewhat before they kind of blew up too, which was always kind of interesting. And I think in general, the game community is so open and inviting. It's like, I know a lot of people think of certain people as rock stars, but I'm not built that way, so I don't fanboy over actors or any of that other stuff. So I think that's one of the reasons why it's kind of fun to do some of the interviews, because it really is just a conversation and hanging out, and two people just having a genuine conversation. So I don't know if there's anybody I'm actively looking for, but there's a lot of people that I know that I'd love to maybe have that conversation with. J.R. Honeycutt is one. Him and I kind of had that conversation briefly over Twitter the other day, just because of the fact that I like what he does, and he's of the same spirit. It seems to me. He's very community oriented and stuff, and I like what he's producing and what he's trying to bring to the community. So I'd love to sit down and just have that conversation personally with him. If I were to start a podcast, would you guys guest from time to time? Is that what you were answering earlier, Jordan? Or
No, that was about being invisible for a day.
oh, okay. We're always willing to guest, especially if somebody else is editing. that's my answer. I've been on board games twice. I've absolutely loved it. The first time I was a little leery of it, not because of the podcast, just because I think it was one of the first. No, Epic Slant Press, I think, was the first time that I wasn't in control of editing, and that kind of scared me because I do edit a lot, and I like to make sure our content is pretty clean. So it kind of just scared me a little bit that somebody else would be in charge of editing. But once I got past that, I've been on board games twice. I was on Epic Slant, so I love guesting whenever possible. Who's asking what? I'll do the edits, trust me. Yeah, I don't know. I've seen some of your editing, Matthew. Yeah, nice. No. We won't be answering questions like what's your mother's maiden name?
Smith. She lived on King Street in Anytown, USA.
1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so the final game. Should we look at the final game that got unlocked?
Let's do that.
All right, let me switch back. You're in charge of chat again, so don't screw it up this time.
Hey, that was all on other mic.
All right, so the other one that is unlocked for the 3 games that we're definitely giving away as of right now is, again, I just talked about Epic Slant and being on their podcast. This is Adam's game, Havoc and Hijinks, and I have some of the Kickstarter promo cards that came with it. So this will be the 3rd game that will be given away. So cute dragons, Nikki, Mike, cute dragons. So that is the 3rd game. And those are the 3 that are for sure being given away in the prize package. And then behind me, as we continue on here, I have 2 more games that I'll show off in the order that we will unlock them. That's my luggage combo. I missed something.
That might have been relation to the 1, 2, 3 or.
Oh, the 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, gotcha. Hey, I'm extremely tired today, and I haven't been feeling well today, so it's going to take me a little bit to catch on to anything. I'm not firing on all cylinders today.
Today?
Don't make me come over there. It's just that would be the best 3-year anniversary Google Hangout ever. I just disappear off of camera and show up behind you. Start unleashing.
Well, Mike, it's a short list, but it's somewhat disgusting. Do you really want it that bad?
Is he talking about your shelf or my shelf?
I assume he meant yours from when you were panning around, since I don't
Oh,
have the gargantuan red
oh,
dragon.
that's right. Yeah, you were taking a look at my dragon. Yeah, that's a shelf of dragons actually. Mostly, there's some non-dragon things up there, but Sammy is all squee over the dragons. Awesome. There is no first Mike. It's other Mike. Uh, what is your preferred games to play when not needing to review? Um, you want to well, uh, you should probably know most of those, especially from George's perspective, because I think he gets to uh, play more games that are non-review related than I do sometimes. But Jordan, you want to share some of your favorites?
Well, currently, I'm heavily into some minis games like Warhammer Fantasy and Wild West Exodus. By the end of the weekend, I will not be quite into those as heavy because I will want a definite break. Um, I like the pile of LCGs that I don't actually get to play a lot. I do. My favorite medium is card games. Preferably the LCGs. I've got Mage Wars down there somewhere too. Um, and I think those are my favorites. Definitely Star Wars and Netrunner and Mage Wars. I think those are my three favorite games to play right now when I have time to play something. But again, those are all two-player games, and on a game night on a Thursday, that's our game night. Those never get to the table because it's rare that we're just down to two, and even if we are, Jordal doesn't play them. So that's what I like in terms of group games that are going to come out. I think one of my faves to play when we have a decent group to do it is Battlestar Galactica. I really love the trader mechanic there, and I like the TV show. And I think it's a great adaptation of the theme of the show and a great implementation of a trader mechanic.
Yep, and I'm pretty much along the same boat. If Jordan and I actually get time and we actually either have time left over from doing review plays, or we actually every once in a while we'll go, we need a break. We just need a night, and let's play Netrunner. And Netrunner is probably one of our big ones. We will definitely play that if we can. And usually, if we try to play like 2 or 3 games, we'll usually make sure one of them is Netrunner, and then go from there. So Netrunner, we had some fun with Doomtown, but we need to play it some more. But that one seems like it is right up our alley as well. Mage Wars, definitely, like Jordan said, that's one of the reasons why we haven't reviewed it, even though Scott, I think, has asked me at least once, yeah, go ahead and review it because you guys do love it. And it's like, yeah, but we love it that much. And it was the one. It was the one that surprised us too, because it was the one we were just kind of like, we'll wait. And then I got it, and I was just like, why have we waited so long? It just really kind of hit a nice nerve with us that we really enjoyed. So I like the LCGs too. I've probably mentioned it off and on the podcast, but mostly in passing. But there was a time when I kind of booth monkeyed a bit for FFG. So I've been involved with like a Game of Thrones game back for when it was a CCG, and I used to help out at Gen Con with that and help run the tournaments and do demos and stuff of that, and followed that into an LCG. I do think Fantasy Flight, the one thing that they do really well is their LCG stuff. There's a few of them I don't care for, and a couple of them are like the Star Wars one I'm okay on, and the Lord of the Rings one, I could do without. In fact, I got rid of all my stuff. But Warhammer Invasion, Netrunner, Game of Thrones, all of those are just solid games that I've really enjoyed. Let's see what else we got here.
Yeah, Tess's favorite game is putting stickers on dice. It's every time he gets we get a new prototype in, that's the first thing he does. And he always asks me to come over, but it's always at a bad time, so I never get to take part in that game. But it is his favorite thing.
Yeah, there. I think there are still some. No, I think we finally got through them. I had a stack of games that I purposely bought and wanted to play, and as soon as I opened them up and saw that there were stickers to be applied, they went into this corner pile. And eventually, I think Megan put them on for me. I was like, okay, now I can play them. Galaxy Trucker, yeah, that's an awesome game.
The app's available on the Android.
And I
Get
still
it today.
don't have it. Nope.
You know you want it.
No, Galaxy Trucker is definitely a game I am not a fan of in any way, shape, or form. Let's see. Nikki says, since my Google Plus isn't working, what TV shows are you enjoying right now? Any movies you guys are looking forward to seeing this summer?
Age of
Well,
Ultron.
yeah, Age of Ultron. Some of the obviously some of the comic book stuff definitely we want to see. Other than that, I don't know. I don't know if I'm specifically looking forward to anything other than Age of Ultron. Really, I mean, just as standing out to me. TV shows. I mean, we cover TV shows quite a bit. Obviously, Walking
Question from
Dead.
somebody that doesn't listen to our regular cast.
The Walking Dead. We talk about that one quite a bit. That one's still going on. Enjoying that.
Justified.
I was just gonna say Justified is in its final season, and it's actually making me wish it wasn't its final season. It's so damn good right now. I mean, there a lot of the kind of norms there, but Walking Dead I'm definitely enjoying, and Justified I'm really enjoying. Archer is awesome.
Turn on the Kenny Loggins. Somebody's heading to the danger zone.
Danger zone.
The 2D CW shows, Arrow and Flash, those are consistently good, I think.
Yeah, and I'm watching Gotham, and Jordan is not. I'm really enjoying Gotham. A couple of the latest episodes that haven't been necessarily as good, but the overall arc of that show is just really solid, especially for something that I didn't think I was going to like. All right, Matthew, go record your review. Get that content out there. Make that non-existent money for UGN.
Make it drizzle.
All right. I think we've covered most of it, and I'm trying to see did I miss anything while I was putzing around.
No.
Talked about preferred games. Yep. Nikki's commandeering the keyboard every once in a while. Yeah, that's right. His name is Matthew, people. That's his preferred. I think that's one thing. I don't know if a lot of people know that is I get really I like to make sure I'm calling people by their preferred name, so I almost always ask them. And I think that's like with Jordal, that was one of the first things when we first met, and he always signed his stuff Michael, and I had to ask him, do you prefer Mike or Michael? And he had said Michael, and then I think like the next time he was doing something with us with Rochester Gamers Community, I called him Mike twice, and I felt horrible about it. I like sent him an email, and I'm like, I am so sorry. I know I said, I even asked you what your preference was, and you told me it was Michael, and I screwed that up, and I never meant to do that, and I apologize. So I get really weird about that, and that's sometimes why. Well, that is a big part of why on like the Gamer crowdfunding interviews and stuff like that, I always have people introduce themselves the first time. That way, I'm very aware of how they like to present themselves. Two syllables is too much, especially to type. Watches Jeff crack the whip. Oh, for Matthew, yeah. You know. We got to make sure content is continually coming into the United Geeks Network. Otherwise, who's going to join us? Ken, Torin, you started a podcast, and I still didn't get to hear what that podcast was about, what you went with. You do not get called the wrong name, Mike. You are Other Mike. You chose Other Mike. You started your own podcast saying you were Other Mike. That is your name. All right. So while we're waiting here for some other comments, should I show what happens if we hit $300 for charity? Jordan?
Oh, well, there's another game.
There is another game. So
I didn't realize that was a leading question. I thought you were going to answer it.
You know, podcasts are awesome if you just continually ask rhetorical questions.
Aren't they, though?
No, they're not.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I have yeah. Let's not do that.
Do you ever feel you're mistaken on that?
No, I'm pretty solid. Pretty solid.
I watched a lot of Who's Line. I can do this all night.
So can I. You've been here. All right. So if we again, we're a little over $200 that's going to the Jack Vassal Memorial Fund right now, which is awesome, amazing. Thank you, everybody. And if we get, again, we're adding a game to the prize package for every $100 we get. So if we hit 300, I'm going to add Walkstar to the prize package. So that would be the next game that gets added. And then I've got one more behind me, even with the replacement stickers on the back to make the art look better on the tokens. So that'll be, if we hit $300, Walkstar will get added to Dig Down, Dwarf, Havoc, and Hijinks, and Space Mission. And then I've got one more that will show off behind me if we happen to hit $400. And I have other games, but I don't want to seem too ambitious here. Obviously, we appreciate everything that you guys have helped us with and supported us with between the donations and the Patreon page and all that stuff. And, of course, just hanging out with us is amazing. Hey, there it is, the famous LOJ. I'm trying to get a new podcast to join the UGN, the one I'm joining for a monthly show. Oh, that'd be cool. Have them check out the form and one of the things is I do like to listen to, especially the podcasts. I listen to a couple of them before I say yay or nay. I've had a couple. We actually have kind of turned down a couple, and I've kind of given them feedback. There are a couple. That's when I let Jordan handle the feedback. And then there are a couple that might start here soon that have been kind of asking me some questions off and on. So they may or may not join. And if they do, that's awesome. If they don't, at least we've helped get a couple more podcasts out in the world. So. I wonder if anyone hears well, I don't hear it when you click the thumbs up, or is it just me? No, I don't hear it.
I don't hear anything.
No. All right. So, yeah, if they're interested, I mean, just have them go over to the United Geeks Network site and fill out the join form, and I'm all for it. I think I've got I got to go back and respond too. There's also another blog that might start off that's kind of somewhat covering conventions, but from a different angle. It's somebody that was going to start a podcast a while ago that they're still trying to work that part out, but the blog might be up and running faster, so they might join too. Yes, there's a form. UnitedGeeksNetwork.com. There's a join the UGN or whatever it is up at the very top. that there's a form there. It actually says what we're looking for, what our kind of very simplistic rules are, and basically that we expect the bumpers and all that kind of stuff, and that we're not greedy. We're willing to share with another network as long as they're willing to share with us. And then there's a form to fill out. It's like screaming in space. Nice. Apparently, Ken Torin doesn't want to tell me about the podcast. Is that what? Is that too much typing right now? Is that what I'm gathering?
Oh, are you the thumbs downer on all our videos?
We lost our thumbs downer for a while, didn't we?
I know. We've got like 15, 20 things out there that are not negative.
Yeah, we don't know.
This is not, you can't do that on television. There is no slime in this office. There's a slimy person, but there's no actual slime.
Jordan, that one thing I was going to tell you about, because somebody asked me about this before, but your Sarah asked us what it would take to get us to do an episode in our NPR voices.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody else asked me to do an entire daily in the Minnesota accent impression I did in the video with Megan the other day.
Oh, yeah, you betcha. That would be a fun show to do.
Oh, yeah, don't you know? Just roll them dice there.
I think we could do that for 30 minutes, half hour, yeah.
So I think we need to, especially here during the pledge drive, maybe we come up with we get so much more into the charity bank. Not only is there the potential for another game, but maybe we do one of those shows like that.
Get it up high enough, and I'll do a segment in French.
Segment of one.
Oh, no. He'll be involved.
When are we going to do a big hangout recording with all the members of the UGN? Well,
since nobody showed up, Yeah,
that could have been tonight. And since this has worked so well, it's such a smooth thing that we've done this evening. No, I don't know if everybody's down for it. I mean, I guess that is something that you could bring up, Mike, in the United Geeks Network Facebook member group.
As I often say to my wife, there is a forum where you can post these ideas and get feedback.
Let's see. Hey, Ken.
Oh, I'm the slimy person. I admit that. That's
who's slimy. Changes coming in the Thursday episode. It features briefs of all the tabletop game campaigns on Kickstarter, Indiegogo, and the crowd sales on TGC. Sammy will be doing a funded projects episode on Sundays, and we have reviews in the works. The Roll Call podcast. Cool. That would that sounds good. So you guys have already, how many episodes you already got out, Ken? Just the one, or and you're already making changes on the fly, which we feel you. We've been there. And obviously, for people that have been listening to the dailies, the daily from yesterday, the draft picks are coming back too on All Us Geeks. So I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be a lot of fun. I just won't be involved. So maybe somebody else can win.
Limit yourself to 2-syllable words or less, Mike, and then it won't be as much work.
That would be great to hear. Yeah, so I don't know. We have to come up with something because I think it needs to be tied to pledges. First episode went live today. Okay. What's the shoot the URL there in the comments as well. I want to go check that out. So yeah, to do a full episode, that was what Jordan's wife had asked us. How much would somebody have to pledge for you two to do the NPR voice all night? Because there was one night when we were playing a game or something, right?
Wasn't it one of the half eps when they were in the room with us?
Oh, that might have been it. Actually, you know what it was? It was the Lost app.
Yes, yes.
The Lost app when they were going to help us review What the Food, and you and I went into NPR mode, and that's when she had asked us how much somebody would have to pay to get us to do a full episode that way. So yeah, if for anybody that is unaware or has been waiting for a new main episode, one went to
main still.
No, we gave that up a long time ago. But a main went to the Patreon supporters today. So that should roll out to our regular feed on Wednesday afternoon. And that was one that we recorded in like January, late January, maybe something like that. January, February. And we recorded last week?
Yep.
Last week with Don, so there will be another main coming. But so episode 56 is coming to you soon. And episode 57 is in the editing queue for the third time because we've lost 2 episode 57s, which is ridiculous because the entire 3 years that we've been doing this, we've had more problems with just episode 57 has got a bigger body count on it than the entire 3 years of our show. Excellent. Thanks for sharing, Ken. I'm opening that up in a new tab so I can check it out in a little bit. All right. Let me see here. I don't know what I'm doing right now. That is par for the course. We've had some people, and I think like other Mike, you've been one of them, that have asked to kind of, hey, can I just listen in when you guys record an episode? I don't think that's as exciting as most people would think it is because we do a lot of planning on the fly while we record. We have an outline to all the mains, but then there's a lot of things we'll just kind of stop mid-recording and go, hey, do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? And, of course, I yank all of that stuff. So I don't think it's as exciting as most people would think it is to listen in. That half hour or so that gets left on the floor, it's there for a reason.
Hey, you know what, though? If somebody wants to join, just Skype in and listen. I got no problems with that. We could disabuse a lot of illusions about our competence.
When will the brick breakdown be coming back? Actually, I do have one. I almost put it into episode 55, but I already had to yank a bunch of stuff from episode 55, which sounds weird because it's then, well, why didn't you put it in? But there's actually when I was listening back to it today before I kind of posted it and gave it off to the Patreon page, there's actually a section in there where we were talking about why the end of last year we didn't get a brick breakdown and that one is coming eventually. So it felt kind of weird to stick it in there. So what I might try to go ahead and do, I have one. They recorded it in February. Sarah and I talked about it the other day. She gave it to me again, and I might go ahead and put it in this next episode. So it might include both Don and the Lego segment. Jordan seems cool with it. I'm not sure what Jordan is cool with right now. Oh,
Having an eavesdropper.
yeah, having an eavesdropper. Well, a stalker in training is nothing to him.
I train them.
That's what I'm saying. Dude, your heavy breathing is all wrong.
Got to be on the inhale.
Yeah, Ken, I'll definitely take a look at it and give it a listen. And next time I see you over at the Game Crafter chat, we can have a conversation about it. Probably I'll probably add it to my app tonight, and then I can grab it and listen to it on my commute in the morning. And that is when Jordan died on air. Nice. Thanks, Mike. So glad that Jordan and I can provide you with entertainment. Oh, wait. No, apparently we can't.
Going back to our review of who are your favorite podcast hosts on All Us Geeks. And it's Dawn and Sarah.
We still get no love. No matter how we niche this thing down. That actually, episode 55 is the touchy-feely episode. if you recall, I mean, it's been a while since we recorded it.
Wow. Yeah, it has.
But it's the you were just getting back from Canada. You were just getting over being sick, and suddenly Jordan has a raw feeling moment.
Luckily, I got it out of the way in January. I won't have to have another one of those again until 2016.
That's right. It's like a really hardcore purging New Year's resolution. Get all your genuine feelings out of the way in one shot. And now
dickery.
All right. See, I saw we had somebody pop in, didn't we? Nerd Dad. Hey, how you doing, sir? If you're participating, or if you're checking it out from over on the actual Google Plus event, that's kind of where everybody's hanging out and having conversations. But welcome. All right. Let's see here. We've got one more game I want to show you guys. So again, this is if we happen to get to the ridiculously crazy amount of $400 going to the Jack Vassell Memorial Fund. And again, I mentioned on one of the dailies or something like that I was toying around with the idea if we actually did hit like $400, then I would maybe create a second prize package, and then from there kind of split off and maybe have two prize packages that we were going to do, which would be a totally separate set of games or something like that. I've got a bunch of stuff around here. I don't have duplicates of everything that I've showed you guys tonight. So far we've talked about what is unlocked is Space Mission from Matt Warden, Dig Down Dwarf from Grey Gnome Games, and Havoc and Hijinks from Epic Slant. And then the $300 one, if we get $300 for charity, that would be Walkstar. And then if we happen to get to $400 for charity, I'm going to throw in some Sheriff of Nottingham from our friends over at Arcane Wonders. So that'll be the one that will get added at $400 to the current prize package that we're giving away in April. So those are all the games I grabbed out to show. I've got a bunch more if things get ridiculously crazy for the rest of March, which I guess I never know, because Jordan and I really didn't expect things to be where they are right now. So
the crazy can only ramp up.
Yeah, so I don't expect it to get there, but I wouldn't be necessarily. Well, I would be surprised and shocked because everything has surprised and shocked me so far. But in a very good way. You guys have been amazing to us, and we greatly appreciate it.
Mike asks, what was the hardest game you ever played but still enjoyed playing?
Oh, hardest game. You go for that one. I'm trying
You
to think.
know, the thing that comes to mind right away, Shadowrun Crossfire.
Really?
It's not a difficult game,
Yeah.
but it's a difficult to win game.
Yeah.
It's a standard deck builder. It's not hard to learn, but beating it consistently is tough. But even as you're getting your ass kicked, it's still really enjoyable.
Yeah, I guess I was thinking the just hard to play like learn and play and kind of brain burner when I first heard that. But you're right. Shadowrun Crossfire is definitely one of those, and we've played several times and just got our butts kicked. And it was always like, oh, all right, one more, and we always hear the damn well, we've got to win this time, or oh, it's the auto win, or whatever our group always says. And as soon as somebody in our group says auto win, they're usually about tarred and feathered at the table, because that has been consistently our downfall. The moment somebody says, "Well, we've got this," it's an auto win. Tides turn on us every time.
That is now a kind of dick punch move right there. You know, you say that, just bam.
So yeah, but I agree with Jordan. Shadowrun Crossfire is one that we really enjoy. It's another one that we really wish we'd get to the table a lot more than we do. It's actually one we wanted to campaign, but it kicks our butt quite a bit. You know, this is going to be weird too for us. Jordan, here's another one then, just for our group, it seems like. But Mice and Mystics.
Hello, Stephanie. That is not a game that should kick your ass, but it worked us hard.
Yes.
How many times did it take us to get through chapter 1? Like four sessions?
I know, it was ridiculously crazy. Chapter 1 and chapter 2 is just like, really, we're still doing this, and you're playing a game where you're playing like these little mice, and you're putting cheese on this timer track and everything, and you just feel deflated. You're like, really? This looks like a kid's game.
We're getting our ass kicked at Redwall, people. Somewhere Stephen Jock is laughing at us.
Hey, Stephanie. Glad you could join us. Don't worry about traffic, because we had this wonderful Google Hangout mess up earlier anyway, so we started late, and it's been an amazing experience so far. We love it. Yay. Google Hangout is our new favorite. Okay. Well, that's cool, as long as it's updating the way you need it to, Nerd Dad. That's awesome. I did suggest Crossfire to you the other day. Both of us did. That's because we do. We absolutely love that game. It really is a really good game, especially like, because I believe one of the things you were saying is you liked Shadowrun. So
no, there's no real live chat, Ken. It's just stay here.
Yeah, don't move, don't breathe, don't. Mice and Mystics is.
That's the best way to play it, is to go buy it.
Yeah, Mice and Mystics is a good game. I personally don't want to own it though, but it's just one of those games. Like, I really do like it, but I don't care if it's in my own collection. Like, we've got a guy, well, Jordal, our guy that runs Thursday nights. He owns it, and he likes to try to pull it out every once in a while. So if he's going to play it, then we definitely want to sit at the table. But I just don't need it in my personal collection for some reason. It's a lie. What's a lie? So yeah, as far as like difficult to learn games though, maybe the other side of that coin for that question. God, I don't know about that. I've had a game, and I'm not gonna like say it or anything because it's just. But I've had a game come in, or I've had a couple of games come in for review that I've sent back, and I basically said, you don't want us to review this because I don't even understand your setup. I mean, the rule book was kind of really poorly written. And to their credit, eventually they did come back with a really solid rule book, but stuff like that. Like if I can't get through, I don't understand how your game even gets on the table. Then that's not a good thing. Oh, live chat equals a lie. Yeah. It's fairly close to live, though, it seems like, off of the event. Like Nerd Dad was saying, it's close enough for our purposes for now. It's a hell of a lot better than when Jordan and I could not see anything you guys were saying at all. All right, and since we do have, like, Stephanie came late, we'll just real quick again. The games that are already unlocked. Nope, don't.
Been here on time if you wanted to be informed.
I can mute you, sir.
I can hang up.
Have that power. The games that have been unlocked for the prize package in April so far are Space Mission, which is from Matt Warden. It's an out-of-print game. It's his European version of Jumpgate. They signed it for the European distribution, and it's no longer being printed, and it's one of his personal copies that he had left. He brought it down and wanted us to give it away for this. So Space Mission, Dig Down Dwarf, the Kickstarter, the final retail version, and Havoc and Hijinks from our friends at Epic Slants. Dig Down Dwarf is from our friends. What you drinking, Jeff? Oh, I'll get to that in a second. Just water. Dig Down Dwarf is from Grey Gnome Games.
Water.
So those are the three that have been unlocked and are in the prize package for now in April. The ones that can be unlocked for the $300, we'll add Walkstar. And then for $400, if we happen to get to that, we're going to add Sheriff of Nottingham from Arcane Wonders and Walkstar. Who did Walkstar? I know Game Salute put it out, but yeah, it's got the Game Salute on it. Tim Fowers and Tom Mason. So there you go. There's Walkstar again. For anybody that missed that one. And then, like I said, if we get to $400, we'll throw in Sheriff of Nottingham from Arcane Wonders. So those are the ones to still be unlocked. And then one more time, just to do this to Mike. This is my personal copy, but we should be playing this soon, Jordan and I. I want my zombie ponies. It truly is water. This is my big water jug. I always keep this with me when I'm recording, whenever I'm doing interviews or we're doing a main episode. Because if I don't, I would sound more like Jordan when I'm editing, because I got to clean up hacking and coughing quite a bit because his allergies kick in since he's allergic to my animals. All right. So, we've got the some of the newcomers. Again, if you have any questions you want to ask us, feel free to do it in the chat/comment, whatever the heck it is. We've been answering them off and on, so just throw them up there. We're trying to keep track of those and answer them as they come up. And one more time, I just, again, thank you guys for all the support these last 3 years. I mean, in all kinds of ways. Again, some of you we get to interact with almost on a daily basis. That is awesome. That really does mean a lot to us. We I've always kind of said that names, not numbers phrase. Actually, I started when I finally picked that up, but I've always said something similar to that, just not as eloquent. But the names, not numbers things, that means a lot to us. We really do want to know the people that are listening to us. We like that interaction. We like knowing what's going on with you guys as much as you guys know what's going on with us from listening to the podcast. And we just really appreciate it. And then again, the Patreon page, that is kind of well surpassed and surprised the hell out of Jordan and I. We really didn't know what to expect when we put that out there, and you guys have made it an amazing journey, and we're glad we did. And then, of course, the pledge drive, especially for those people that said, please don't get rid of the pledge drive, which I think is awesome because I do like being able to give to charity. And like I said, hopefully someday and in the future, we get that to the point where the pledge drive is 100% about us giving stuff to charity. I will gladly do the 31 days of podcasting. I will gladly take any money we take in March, including, site ads and all that stuff, and focus that 1 month in on anything we take in. If we can get to that point, just giving it to the charity that we pick at the time. So again, thank you guys for doing all of that. It's been amazing.
Well, the regular Hangouts are a little different stuff. This is a poor implementation. This is to broadcast live on YouTube. And no, I don't like it either. It could use a lot of polishing. A basic Hangout is much more easy to use and user friendly.
Yeah, and I don't know if we can. I don't know if I can even do it. Like I thought we would be able to like maybe bring some people in, but I don't know if it actually is giving me that option, and I really don't want to mess with it that much. Because before I know it, then all of a sudden we'll drop the call again. Yeah, we had to quickly start up a brand new session because it kind of dropped out almost as soon as it started, and tried to tell people quickly that this was the place to be now. So it wouldn't be all us geeks if something didn't go wrong right away. So again, if you guys have any other questions you want to ask us, make sure you get them in. I don't know if I have too much more that I was going to cover this evening. I just want to make sure to thank you guys and again to hang out with you for our 3 years because we wouldn't be here without you guys either. So the people that listen to us and the people that interact with us, you've kept us going for 3 years as well. And I wanted to show off the games and thank you guys for all the pledges and everything else. But we're definitely willing to answer some questions if anybody has any more. Yeah, Mike, neither one of those are better. Again, zombie ponies. And really, I mean, this is okay. This is okay, but it's no Golden Gilmores. Let's face it. I mean, the Golden Gilmores is going to be the best expansion that ever comes out for Smash Up. Come on. And I'm assuming not everybody hanging out with us got that, unless you've been listening to the dailies, because I did explain it at least once. Right. Well, what's it? Yeah, I was gonna say, real quick though, Jordan, you're heading off to Adepticon this weekend.
Yeah.
So you got your army painted for that, and you're good to go now.
Yeah, I was up until 1 o'clock last night putting the finishing touches, and I use that term loosely on my Pillar of Light.
I saw those pictures today. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Mike, for saying you liked it, but I don't. So yeah, leave Wednesday afternoon. Jordan and I are heading out, I think, at noon. Gonna roll into town, and then gonna try to hook up with the Canadians from UGN. There's been talk of karaoke. I will not be doing that, but I will be drinking.
Yeah, and some of the UGN members are supposed to join me on Sunday. Originally, we were hoping Jordan was going to be a part of that too, but I think you're actually going to be on your way home, right?
Unless something ridiculous happens, yeah, 7 p.m. we should be halfway home by that point.
Yeah. So Sunday is going to be a full day for me. Some of the UGN members that are actually at Adepticon are going to record with me. And then before that, Nate's going to come over, and we're going to do some play testing of prototypes. So the prison game is going to come on out for a while, and I don't remember what Nate's bringing over, but he wants to get in some more play testing before we head to Protospiel next month. I got it, Golden Gilmores. Yeah. So let's see.
Let's just add another con to the list of things that we can't get to. Yeah, that's really great.
Well, let's remember there is that if we get to $200 a month on the
well, that's true. We can start
Patreon
saving.
Page. Yeah, on the Patreon page, we said we would go to the Patreon members to request what con that we should absolutely attend. Let's see. I haven't heard of Mike. I'm assuming you're talking about the Golden Gilmores. Is that what you haven't heard of? And Stephanie's question is, what questions have we answered so far? We've answered a lot of different things, actually.
We were asked to rank our 3 favorite male and female listeners based on, interaction, and you missed that. It was a really good conversation. Then we talked about the games we like and just general chit chat.
Let's see. Jordan, karaoke is awesome. Oh, you were answering would you come to Lubbock, Texas Con?
Yes.
Texas Con. Yeah. I'm always willing to do something into my schedule, but
and I do actually want to go to Texas at some point. So
do I. What's there is actually a con in Texas already that I want to attend. Is that's BGG Con, right? Dice Tower Con or Dice Con or whatever they're calling it. That one's in Florida, but I think BGG Con is in Texas, if I remember right. That's the one I was hoping to attend this year, but I wasn't able to. Let's see. Nerd Dad, have you thought about doing a 31 days, but with everyone from UGN taking a day or two so you can take a breather? I don't know how to take that. I'm sorry. I didn't realize I was getting that annoying already. Actually, that's a lie. I knew that from day one. I'm open to that kind of stuff. I know our buddy over at 7 Days a Geek, when he does his 30 or 31 days, whenever he does his, he does a lot of clips and stuff like that. And that doesn't interest me as much, but I'm all for showcasing other people on the UGN for sure.
Steph, you've heard me talk. I know you listen to the cast every now and then. Do you really want to hear this thing? Do you? Because I don't think anybody else does.
I apparently missed that one. There are some episodes where you can shortly hear us singing. Yeah, that's more than you need.
Go back to episode 3 or 4.
BGG Con is in Dallas. Yeah, that's what I thought. And that's one I definitely want to attend. Mike says he doesn't know about the Golden Gilmores. The Golden Gilmores is actually from the Game Crafter podcast. It's an on-the-spot expansion I made up for me to ask a question to JT about intellectual property and what the Game Crafter could do with it legally. And it was that I had the best expansion ever for Smash Up, and that I wanted to pursue it, and I wanted the Game Crafter to print it, and it was my Golden Girls, Gilmore Girls Smash Up expansion. And I'm still trying to work out the Rory Blanche combo. It's a little overpowered right now, but eventually we'll get there. Just messing around there, Dad. I know. One thing, if everybody doesn't realize by now that Jordan and I will take shots internally before we do them externally. We never take ourselves that seriously. Challenge accepted.
Well, apparently you're refreshing faster than I am now.
Well, I mean, that's a given.
Yes, currently you have a better in with Google. That is totally it.
Phoenix Comic Con. Stephanie wants us to go to Phoenix Comic Con. Again,
is that a WizWorld product?
And again, when it comes down, I mean, there's a ton of stuff we would love to go to, and every day is like, hey, this is the next convention you absolutely have to attend. But if we took that entire list, first of all, Jordan and I wouldn't have jobs anymore.
Well, I can work remote. I got no problem with that. Desk slave.
I have to take some time off. So I don't have that amount of time to take off, and nor the funds. So that was one of the reasons why we did the $200 a month thing for Patreon, because we figure over time with that much money, I mean, we could set enough aside that we could at least afford one convention for one of us a year to kind of be paid for on All Us Geeks dime, because most of the conventions that we attend, they really are for networking and meeting other people that might want to come on the show, and interviews and stuff like that. I don't like the last Gen Con we went to. I didn't really play much of anything. I did more networking and interviewing and making some connections there than I did. Hey, look, a game. I bought a bunch of games. Playtesting which one, Aaron? Prison or Golden Gilmore's? or the Golden Gilmore's in prison? I think I've got my follow up. Nerd Dad, yeah, like I said, we joke internally, but you're right. We've the United Geeks Network has been amazing, and it's grown quite a bit this last year. So we're pretty happy and pretty excited by that, and I hope to continue to grow it. But for the 31 days so far, I've been trying to have a bunch of people on from the network. But yeah, in the future, if anybody's game for it, I would be more than happy to kind of dole out some days where they can kind of participate in their own way and their own style. I'd be totally up for that. What are your favorite comics to reread? Jordan, that's one for you to start with for sure.
Once a year, usually during my week off in the summer, I will read Watchmen. That is consistently a good read for me. Periodically, I reread the original Crisis on Infinite Earths. And generally after that, it's there's nothing that I always want to reread. That I make time for in my in my reading. But stuff that I have read multiple times and I really enjoy is Powers, for instance, from Image and Icon. And I mentioned that just because I started reading it again because it started on PlayStation Network just recently. And I'm going through old Alpha Flight right now, which is surprisingly good. And I just picked up also, well, I didn't pick it up, I got it as a Christmas present, the original Marvel Years Star Wars Omnibus, and that is just excellent original Star Wars comics wrapped up together. It's 30 or 40 issues. I'm really enjoying that, and that's probably something I'm going to be rereading a lot just because, I love Star Wars.
I don't really reread much on the comic side. I'm always kind of, for a while there, I wasn't actually reading comics too much, and then when Jordan and I started kind of really talking about them quite a bit, there were various things that were starting to catch my eye again. So I don't really reread much. Kind of the same way with like movies and stuff. I don't rewatch too much because we've always got new stuff kind of sitting around. Every once in a while we'll rewatch something, but it's very rare. So comic wise, Dark Knight Returns maybe I've read a couple times, but um, not much beyond that probably right now. I'm constantly just looking for the next issue of the few things that have kind of caught my attention now. I don't
Well, as
think we'll
long as
go.
Comic Con is inside, 100 degrees isn't going to bother me.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, it's not year round, but we get plenty of 100-degree days here in Minnesota, and it's more humid than anything. So I've actually the most I've ever fried was when I was in Arizona because it wasn't you didn't have the humidity, so I didn't feel it as much. So I sat out by a pool like drinking all day, and I had to wear a suit that night, which really sucked. So I just didn't understand that it wasn't registering with my body that hey jackass, you're actually out in the sun and it's fairly hot, and just because you're not feeling the humidity dripping off of you doesn't mean it's not hot. So I think we do okay there, believe it or not. And like Jordan said, inside good.
Yeah, I read The Watchmen back in '86 when it was still coming out in individual issues, and it was perfect for the time. Gibbons and Moore wrote an excellent book. And I was in my mid-teens and still somewhat politically active, and I was studying history too. So a lot of the background really struck me as topical, going into Cold War, the height of the Cold War, 86, that was 86, 87. It was a 12-issue series. And I loved it. And so like I said, I go back once a year and read it, just the core sometimes, and sometimes both the core and the Black Pirate, the Black Freighter. Yeah, I think it's an excellent book. If you don't have it, you should get it.
I don't think I don't think I read it until after the actual movie, which is kind of sad. All right, take care, Aaron. We're gonna probably be wrapping up here soon. We said this would go to about 8:30. It's almost 8:30 now anyway. So unless we get a bunch of questions here, which we're happy to answer. We had a bunch of people come in late. I know one of the things people asked early on was to kind of showcase the podcast space. So if anybody that came late is interested in that, let us know. We can do that again. Otherwise, shoot your questions to us now, or we might wrap up here. And once again, thank you guys for hanging out with us. Let's see. That's to you, Jordan.
Well, it hasn't hit me yet, so you'll have to relay
Stephanie, funny you should say that, Jordan. This year we made it possible that attendees can travel between buildings without ever needing to go outside. AC for everyone.
There you go.
Yeah. That was one of the nice things, too, about our Gen Con trip. We didn't have to go outside if we didn't want to. Mike says he has Watchmen and he likes the movie ending better, but only by a little bit. Which
You're out.
do you prefer? Well, I think that just got answered.
Nah, the movie ending was understandably updated compared to the comic book ending, especially for when it was written. The comic book ending didn't really work well, wouldn't have worked well in the movie, especially the way they manipulated Manhattan. But since I read the original first, I do much prefer the space squid rather than the nuclear threat.
I guess I didn't really have a preference either way. I mean, I appreciated them each for their own for what they were. I kind of do that a lot. It's weird because sometimes I do it and sometimes I don't. So sometimes I'll disconnect the two things and go, the comic is the comic and the movie is the movie, and then sometimes I'll be one of the first people to kind of go, what? No, that's not the way it should have been. And I guess it kind of depends on how far they really diverge sometimes. But since I did read that one so late and it wasn't until after I saw the movie, I guess that was probably my disconnect for the Watchmen, and not having a preference either way. What is your favorite podcast to listen to, and why is it the Royal Monster Battalion? Hey, you want to guess who asked that question?
Well, I mean, I could be cruel and say that you're not even in the top 100, but I won't. I won't say that.
You know, we could totally do to Mike what people have done to us now for ages. You know,
what's the Royal Monster Battalion?
All right, I was thinking the other thing, but
okay.
That fits as well. But I really enjoyed the Royal Monster Battalion when Nikki was on. Since to this day, everybody tells us that they love it when Sarah and Megan took over the podcast, and I still don't know how to take that.
Again, not even the most popular hosts on our show.
Do you seriously want to know what some of our favorite podcasts are? Or are you just trying to get us to talk more about Royal Monster Battalion? Stephanie, what is do it, and is it safe? Is it PG-13?
Yes, this is Willow. She is the bane of all my miniatures. Anytime I'm working on something, she will try to destroy it.
We like Willow.
You're internet famous now. Cat on the internet?
What?
That could be the start of something.
You trendsetter, you. Well, I'm assuming Nikki is talking about when I said that she was a favorite part of Royal Monster Battalion. Yes, we want to know about your favorite podcasts. Jordan, you want to go first, or?
Well, since I happen to have iTunes up in the background, let me go look at what I have.
Yeah, my phone's upstairs. Sucks.
Megan! Yeah, I noticed. You'll have some messages when you get up there. Let's see here.
Okay, of everybody though, you should know my phone is hardly ever downstairs with me unless it's like my on-call week.
Let's see here. Looking at this, Geekbox and Comic Conspiracy are two that I listen to pretty consistently. They're an overlapping cast, and Comic Conspiracy is comics, and Geekbox is kind of console gaming. Let's see here. The Wanderers in the Fourth Dimension is a really cool episode review of Doctor Who. They do stuff for both the current and the classic series. They're working their way through the Patrick Troughton era right now. I listen to that one pretty consistently. D6 Generation is a gaming one. I'm pretty sure everybody's heard me mention that before. I don't listen to every app. It depends on what the game is. When they lost Rafe as a regular host, they kind of lost me as a regular listener because a lot of the times their third hosts are there just to pimp their game. And if it's a game I'm really not that interested, I'm just not going to listen.
We love you, D6G.
Well, I do. I love you. But, I mean, I'm honest about it. When it's a game I want to listen to, I will sit through a 3-hour podcast, because they have consistently good for 3 hours. But
who the hell puts out a 3-hour podcast?
I know. Who does that? And also, last year, I haven't listened to it much this year because I've been too busy, but last year I found this podcast called Cthulhu and Friends, and they are doing they record their RPG sessions from Call of Cthulhu. Bolt Action, no, I do not play Bolt Action, Nerd Dad, but I do have some Flames of War in the background. I'm building a German Flames of War force. Bolt Action did appeal to me, but the guy that wanted to play historicals with me chose Flames of War. Um, Bolt Action looked cool because I like the scale and it fits well with the rest of my armies. Uh, Flames of War is a much smaller scale. But it's something I will probably get into because I know a couple other people that play it, and the minis look really, really good.
Podcast for me, and I got to go a little more off the top of my head because, like I said, my phone's upstairs. BJ Shea's Geek Nation. I've talked about that one before. I listen to that one quite a bit. Other than their Tuesday one, I never listen to the Tuesday one because the Tuesdays one is about Magic the Gathering, and I just don't want to listen to a podcast about Magic the Gathering. But just about everything else they do. Sometimes the Thursday one I don't listen to because that is also a specialized episode with a different host. Used to be hosts, but one of them has gone on to other things. But they get into they deep dive a couple topics, and some of them are really, really interesting, and some of them just aren't something I'm interested in. But in general, BJ Shea's Geek Nation, I love that one. I listen to a lot of things outside of gaming as well sometimes. So I've mentioned, I think, the Dave Jackson School of Podcasting. That's a podcast about podcasting. I used to listen to a bunch of them. That's one of the few that still made my cut because even though he does have products and stuff that he is selling, a bunch of them got to the point where it was like an hour plus podcast and you got 5 minutes of information and 55 minutes of infomercial. And Dave kind of doesn't do that. Plus, Dave is one of the few that is not necessarily he'll give stuff for people that are trying to like make money or whatever off their podcast, but he kind of considers himself the podcast about podcasting for the serious hobbyist, and that's kind of where I would put us in with as well because we're not really out to make a ton of money off of podcasting. We love it, and this is what we want to do in the niche. So I've kind of stuck with him. We're Alive is done, so we absolutely positively love that one. Both Jordan and I did. That is one I actually have considered going back and re-listening to from the beginning. They do have something else coming down the pipe here, but it looks like they're going kind of pay-per. Did you see that, Jordan?
Yeah, I was trying to find more information about that, but I really wasn't able to find anything other than I saw on their website. So was it even their website?
No, I think it was like I don't think it was like the We're Alive website maybe, but it was like the Wayland guys.
Yeah. Well, that's what I meant. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean they're coming up with another story, and I'm interested in it, but I'm not sure about the whole pay per episode thing. I guess I want to see it first. I mean, not that they don't deserve some financial backing for that because it was an amazing show, but I think to me, I guess, I mean, they had quite a few sponsors and everything for that show as it was going along. I'm not sure about the paid per content thing, but We're Alive was a great one. I listened to Happy Mitten Games quite a bit. I listened to 20 Minutes of Filler. If you like short filler games, and Jason is a friend of mine too, so him and his co-host, they like to look at shorter filler style games as a 20-minute podcast. So those are a couple off the top of my head.
Bolt Action has a really streamlined rule set compared to Flames of War, I think. I've looked at them both. It was just a matter of he wanted Flames of War, the dude that I'll be playing with. And the models are really cool, and it's very popular. And their point levels scale well. You're not always going to be stuck at battalion. So if you're just looking for small unit combat, I think that would be a good fit for you. And it's if you're not a tournament player, then you don't need to worry about painting them. You can just throw, prime them in your forces colors: green, yellow, black, gray, whatever. But if you like the painting, they are really great models to put paint on. Oh, Disaster Cat, what are you doing?
So, Stephanie, I take it you want me to do the tour real quick then, so you can go eat. Is that what I'm getting? we can do the quick tour again real quick. All right, let me flip back to camera. So once again, even though you seem to be delayed on chat, Jordan, you're in charge of chat for a minute.
All right. As far as you know, nothing's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm pretty convinced. Okay, so I do have a separate kind of camera here that I can kind of throw around. So what we did last time is we looked right behind us here. Oh, nope, you're going the wrong way.
You went too far.
Too far. All right, so right there. So that's the mixer and the noise gate limiter and the extra phantom power and all that good stuff for our podcasting. And of course, right behind me, that is the actual recording laptop that we use. And then this guy over here is full of small box games and like card games and stuff. And it's also got a bunch of spots for replacement equipment, like cords and stuff like that. So smaller stuff. Up top there, you kind of see, I think that's one of those is my laptop thing. Some of the portable recording stuff, our wireless mics. And then if we go over here, that guy there, that orange guy with all the games on top of it, that is the infamous Tub O Review games. So that's full, and then we've started stacking some up on top. And like I said earlier tonight, we got a couple more in today, so they're around the corner. So if we go from there, this is looking out from our recording space. But here's the game shelves that we've talked about before. So there's our game shelves, and eventually I'm going to hit our light here, so it's going to get all kinds of fuzzy. I'll try to get up and around it. So right there is kind of the break from where the games end and then the movie collection starts. And then right around this corner here is the gaming table and the spot you see in our videos where I do reviews from with the movies in the background. So that is a quick look at the Geek Compound. Every time I do that, this camera gets goofy. There we go. So that is a quick tour of at least the recording side and the game shelf side of the Geek Compound. We've got a game day coming up here in April. We're going to have a bunch of people over for International Tabletop Day. So that should be fun. I usually set up 4 or 5 folding tables, and then we got the main gaming table that you see us record off of, and we're just going to hang out and play games. No, the shelving's not from IKEA. That's actually Megan and I built all of it. So it's one of the very few handy things we've ever done, but it goes all the way around the entire back wall and up around the corner, because the other side is movies, and I've got I'm approaching 3,000 movies in our collection now. So it's as much as you've seen games on this side, the other side of it is just as full of movies. So we had to custom do it, and we did it ourselves. Dragons for the Dragon God. But you know what? There are times, like Megan and I are very proud of the shelvings, but there are times that maybe we would have preferred it came from IKEA and we were just able to throw it up and be done with it, because it took us quite a while. There's nothing to feel ashamed about. It's not necessarily a good thing. you and some may have heard Jordan and I talk about it too, but like I've still got games in storage that haven't made it to the house. That's one of the reasons why we've talked about potentially doing a should I keep it kind of series on YouTube, and then anything I decide that I'm not going to keep, just kind of put up auction style. Because we need to clear out my storage now that we have a house, because we're paying for that. Oh, that is from IKEA. Yes, the part that has the card games and the mic replay or the recording equipment replacement parts and stuff like that, cables. Yeah, we got that from IKEA. All right, folks, I'm going to call last call here. So if there are any other questions you guys want us to answer, please throw them in chat now. Otherwise, we will call this one an evening. Let Stephanie get to her pizza. All right, I'm going to give you guys a couple minutes here to do that, because I will just once again show off the games. If I could get my computer to... Okay, so again, the games that have definitely been unlocked already. Space Mission from our good friend Matt Warden. Again, this one is out of print overseas. They're not making it anymore. Matt delivered a personal copy to us from his collection, the last few that he's aware of that exist. He wanted us to give it away. That's started us off. And then the first $100 that we raised had us add in Dig Down Dwarf from Grey Gnome Games. So that's part of the collection now as well. And then the second $100 that we got so far for charity, again, which is the Jack Vassal Memorial Fund, is Havoc and Hijinks and some Kickstarter exclusive cards with it as well. So awesome, cute little dragons there. Great little casual game. So those are the ones that are unlocked for sure. And then if we get to $300, we're going to add in Walkstar from Game Salute. And then if we hit the $400 mark, we will add in Sheriff of Nottingham from our friends over at Arcane Wonders, part of the Dice Tower Essential Collection. And those are what we have so far. If you guys get amazingly awesome and crazy and take us above and beyond that, I do have other games we will definitely add in, but I think that is pushing it as is.
Hey, thanks, Antoine.
Oh, Antoine jumped in?
Yeah.
Hey, Antoine. Good to see you. Nice to meet you. We're not repeating everything, though. Is that a light above your head or the reflection off your skull from another source? Probably. There is a light right above me. Right there. And I have a shiny head. Nailed it. I know my IKEA. I don't know if that's a bragging right. Auction them for the fundraiser next year. Yes and no. If we put them up for auction, it's kind of a weird thing, I guess, because it's my personal collection. We're not talking about games that we've gotten from other people or anything like that. These are games that I've bought over the years. But some of them I haven't actually had time to play yet. So, but I have kind of kicked around the idea of if I do it, if we do auction them off, just to kind of add it into the All Us Geeks pool for whatever is needed. And a lot of times, when we do that, if I have money in the pool already set aside for all us geeks, and we get to March and there's money already there, a lot of times I may take some of that and add it in for the charity, or we'll start at a different level. Like right now we're doing the 70/30. So eventually, if it's money that gets put aside for all us geeks, and it's still there come March, I incorporate it in somehow, because if it's still there, and especially if like next year our Patreon is still doing as well as it is now, or even better, which would be again crazy. But if it is the same or better, and we've got money off to the side, uh, usually I'll try to figure out some way to kind of incorporate that into the charity side of things. Because again, come March, that's really what we're all about. Um, the only reason we do the split is because I do need to keep sometimes like cables and stuff on hand, or we need to upgrade or replace things. So it's nice to have kind of that emergency fund off to the side. But usually, if we get to March and we still have some of that emergency fund, I'll say, okay, well, we can kind of build up the emergency fund some more. Let's kind of use some of that for the charity side of things. Well, thanks, Mike. Mike says he love that we love you guys, and thanks for doing it, and we look forward to listening to you guys for another year and many more to come. As of right now, we're not going anywhere. Jordan and I are committed. We've put a lot of time and energy
To the
into
show. To the show.
No, we're committed, or we've been committed by our significant others. So we have no plans of going anywhere. We have plans on improvement and plans on things we'd like to bring to the show and things we'd like to do with United Geeks Network. So you guys are helping us do that. I mean, that's the Patreon and everything else. And again, going back to not even talking about the Patreon, not even talking about the pledge drive, but just the interaction and you guys like tonight hanging out with us. All that stuff energizes us and just wants us to kind of keep going and keep providing you guys with content. So thank you guys.
Yeah, I just want to reiterate that we really appreciate all the support we get from you all year round, not just during the pledge time. The downloads, the listens, the feedback. I really, really appreciate it.
Thank you, Steph. Yeah, I will be sharing the audio recording with Jordan tomorrow night. He'll be over here, and we're going to do a daily together tomorrow night. So that's when I'll spring that on him. So thank you. All right, guys. Well, I think that is going to about do it for us then. Thank you for hanging out with us. Sorry for the awesome technical difficulties we had to deal with at the beginning and having to create a whole new event for you guys to kind of hang out with us. Glad you stuck it out. Thanks to those that came in late and those that have already had to leave. Everybody that hung out with us tonight, we greatly appreciate it. Like we said, we love interacting with you guys, and it's been an amazing time. So thanks a lot, everybody.
Thank you.
Should we leave on your face?
Sure.